Hey guys, give us a second here. We're going to let some more folks log on. I'm Sean. This is Jeff Olivia.
Hey.
Sean Bougie. We're going to give it a little bit of time for folks to log on. First time in, a lot of times people take them a little while to figure it out. You should see, and I'll bring this up later, you should see an attachment or a handout you can grab. It depends on what you're on, what you're using. If you don't, it's okay. At the end of the webinar, after we turn this thing off, give me 15, 30 minutes, and I'll send an email out just to the folks that attended with that handout, because that's going to give you access, and we'll go over this in a minute because we're still seeing more people filter in, but that'll give you access to a web page with a password that nobody else has. And what you're going to be able to buy with that is the Florida remote, which we offer 2-3 times a year, right, normally. So it looks like we're getting up there about where we should be. Can somebody let us know they can hear us okay, please?
Can you see us and hear us? Yes, thank you.
Awesome.
Just want to make sure.
All right, guys, we're going to handle any pre-questions. Fantastic. Thanks, Chris. We're going to handle any questions you got pre-purchase. Any questions at all, okay, on the National Surplus Funds, also on flippro, and also on the installment program. Anything you got, please, fire it away at us. By the way, I appreciate the guys showing up. I know it's a Friday, okay? It's Friday for us too. So it looks like we've got a pretty good turnout, which is good, and we might just be able to wrap this up pretty quickly, but what we need is some interaction from you guys. So we need the questions fired. There's no such thing as a stupid question. I mean, just fire it out there, A lot of you guys, would anybody out there like me to go over kind of a basic overview of either of these systems, or you want to get into more specific questions?
You want to maybe start with what we're doing about the payment?
Let me get into the installment. I'm sorry. The installment plan, the overview of the national. Okay, seeing here, okay. All right, I'll get into the overview of the national. Let me tell you what we're doing. Basic overview, please. You got it, Doug. I'm going to get to that in just a second. We have never, ever done an installment plan. We did something where we allowed people to get in, but then they had to pay more to do something. Anyway, wow, we got a lot of great questions now. Wow, you guys are jumping out of the gate. This is great. The installment plan, the difference is this, guys. We've never done it before, and that's why we're not sure how long we're gonna offer this. The reason we're doing it is a lot of people can't get in at the $497, the $500 mark, right? So this is going to allow people to get in and pay as they go, and we just feel like it's an easier way for people to get started. You can submit files immediately and get rolling. Real quick, the overviews. And Jeff, please jump in and stop me or whatever. National surplus. Basically, what this allows you to do is work all except for 5 states online from your home. Now, when I say all but 5, it doesn't matter where you are physically. You just can't turn in files from these states, from those states. And since it's online from home, don't get OCD caught up in having to work your particular state, okay?
Yeah.
So if you live in Washington, Oregon, North Carolina, Ohio, or Florida, don't worry about it. You can't turn in files from there, but it doesn't matter. You can do online. You can turn in files from any other state you find. We're not going to work D.C. because it's pain in the tail. But you can work any of those states, and it's all online. And all you're doing, you get a list. We tell you how to do that. You take that list, and you do 2 things with it. First, you research to see if there's any other debt against the property prior to the foreclosure. The list is of surplus funds, okay? Property sells at a tax sale or at a foreclosure, mortgage foreclosure, sells for more money than the entity that was foreclosing and they're owed, that's an overage. That's surplus funds. That's being held by the county. It's really that simple. What you got to figure out at that point is what other debt was against the property of the person, because that debt would have a priority claim to that money in front of the ex-owner. We teach you how to do that. You check out, you can do the debt online, debt against the property. Debt against the person we will do for you. And this is why we're just now able to offer this nationally, is we're using TLO to double check debt judgments against the individual. We'll do that part. All you do is research the debt, get a couple of documents online, the deeds. There's 1 or 2 other documents you might need. Whatever we've got, it's real basic, guys. I mean, it couldn't get any more basic than what we're doing.
And not every state, you might not be able to do it in every state.
That's right.
But there's a lot of states that you'd be able to work this in, as long as you can get a list and you can see that you can access online deeds, mortgages through the county, either register of deeds, official records, land records, sometimes it's called public records.
Yeah.
And most counties will give you access to that. And again, the big thing is you don't have to look liens and judgments, because that was always the issue
killer
on why we could never roll it out. But we found that TLO, which we would do here in-house. You don't have to get.
We do it for you.
Yeah, you don't have to get that. Yeah, it's a great program.
Yeah, and just a heads up, give you an idea, because I know people are going to get all specific on me. There are 2 states. There is one state that's difficult as far as going online and getting records. It's California.
Yeah.
And it's not difficult to get the records. It's expensive.
Yeah.
They charge you a lot of money.
And some are pay. You know, I've had people ask me, hey, I want to work this county, but they're making me pay, and how can I get around that? And the simple answer is you can't. There's no way around that. Either you got to suck it up and pay it, which I don't really advise you to do. I mean, if you want to, fine, but you're going to rack up some serious money fast.
Guys, and I know we butt heads with some guys sometimes when we say move on. Come on, just move on. 3,200 counties in the United States.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah. Right. Did you want to go over the stuff that we're offering with the payment, the national, and then the bundle?
I don't even remember the bundle we put together, honest to God. Here's what we're doing. First of all, guys, on the handout that you got, the rest of you guys didn't hear this earlier, you're going to get a handout, plus I'm going to email this to you. If you don't see the handout where you can grab it off of this thing, there should be a place where you can grab the handout. That's like a secret squirrel. It's got a password and a website you can go to, and that's for Florida Remote. We offer that very infrequently. It is because of how good we've gotten at it, because of the way Florida works, and because of just our experience with it. That's the easiest. That's probably one of the easiest states, period. And it's a separate state that national guys can't work, so we very rarely offer it. So that's there, okay? However, in the installments, what's going to be going live at midnight?
Midnight. Maybe earlier. We'll see how this goes.
You'll be able to get national for 2 options, 200 down and 125 a month for 3 months, 300 down and 125 for 2 months. You can still go to our main page, our main buy page, surplusfundsreaches.com, click on products, and you can still get it for $4.97 cheaper if you want to pay up front. I know a lot of people though, over the years have asked me for a cheaper alternative, and that's why we're doing this, guys. We've got a bundle. It's a from home bundle.
No.
Oh, you're talking about the big one.
Well, we have an installment bundle.
That's right.
That we're going to offer. And let me just write it down so that I make sure we have
this is a big deal, guys. It saves you like $1,600.
We're calling it our flagship system bundle. There's 4 of probably our best books. Yeah. They're not the 4 best, but the 4 of the best. And it's going to be.
When we say that, it's not that we're keeping anything back that's better. It's just
they're the 4 most popular.
Work. Yeah.
And the new one, actually, the new flippro is in there too, and it is 4 programs: National, flippro, which just came out.
Yeah.
Hybrid, and Florida Remote. And what it is you pay $4.97 up front, and you get national,
which is the normal price.
And then there's 3 monthly installments of $247, and after each payment, you get another book. So after you pay the $247 the next month, you get Flip Pro.
Yeah, that's the flipping. You can wholesale or
and that
flip.
book we sell for $4.97 by itself.
So
already you come out ahead. Then you pay $247 the next month, and you get hybrid.
And we never list that under $4.97.
And then the last payment of $247 is Florida Remote, which again we rarely offer that book. We're actually going to be offering it tonight
for like
a limited
5 or 10, I think.
We'll get into that. It's in your handout.
Yeah.
So that's that bundle. That'll be on the installment.htm site.
Yeah, and that's you've probably seen that already, guys. If you haven't, I will follow up with an email after this is over, so that you guys will get everything I just told you about. However, even if you go to the main product site, surplusfundsreaches.com, surplusfunds, reaches.com, click on products. At the top there's a link to the installment site too.
Yeah.
What you will not see is what's in the handout. on this tonight, and the email you're going to get, which is the Florida remote by itself. Nobody else is going to be able to buy that.
Yeah,
Only people can.
The handout tonight is going to be a special site where we're going to offer Florida remote. Is that it?
Yep, that's it.
Florida remote, which we never offer.
By
we
itself.
offer it very rarely. It's $4.97. We're going to limit it to the number.
Yeah, and guys,
like 5. You think?
either 5 or if
okay.
Yeah, it's got to be super low.
It'll be really limited.
Guys,
so
on states like that, we're limiting the competition.
we do, and guys have been with us. We've said it before, so that's going to be offered to you guys only, and it's linked on your handout.
Yeah.
So,
And I had a guy just ask about flippro. Flippro is different. Flippro is a way to, and you know, I got a really interesting response both this last time, and that is, it's a way to buy property with no money down. You're acquiring the deed to the property, a quitclaim deed to the property, instead of using an assignment. I know a lot of guys out there talking about, oh, assignments, the newest, greatest thing. Guys have been around since the 80s, okay?
Yeah.
And the assignments don't really work as well when you don't have ownership of the property. So what we do is a little different. We teach you how to go after distressed property, get it under contract with the owner, actually get ownership to that property, and then wholesale it directly, or fix and flip if you want, or even buy and hold if you like. But the wholesaling is where the money's going to be, because you're going to be able to flip that thing super fast. And the main difference is we gave you the documentation and need to, first of all, check the property out correctly, but secondly, and most importantly, to be able to package it in such a way that investors are going to want to buy it and come back to you. Because there's a million wholesalers out there that have no clue what they're doing. This teaches you how to walk the walk, talk the talk, and actually buy real property that's worth it. You don't know how, guys, and I said this in the last webinar, I get approached at least once, twice a week. Hey, I got these 3 properties and they're great, and really, what are they worth? And they'll give me these figures of, great, what'd you base that on? Okay, and it's crickets.
Okay.
This is going to keep you out of the same, because all the guys we talked about this before, all the guys started with short sales, which they did a great, did a lot of money with, but then they got out of that and went into wholesaling. They're all in that now. So that's, we're doing it in such a way that it's going to make you set apart and actually make money where these other guys are failing. That's flippro.
Mm-hmm. Well, we offered one more on the webinar specials, and that's the From Home BK Goldline Ultimate Finder Frictionless for $3.97. So
yeah,
it'll be on there.
And guys, a lot of these books you haven't heard of. I get it.
Yeah.
Go to surplusfundsriches.com, click on products, and if you scroll down, there's a description of every single one of them, and there's even a video link to every single one of them. I don't know how long we're going to leave this page up. Probably for a little while.
We might take full remote off.
Oh yeah, that'll be quick.
And once we get 5 or 7, we got to take it off just because we limit competition in there, and we're not trying to hard sell or anything. It's just what we do.
What's the easiest program to work? Florida Deed Flip or National Program? Sterling, I'd say Florida Deed Flip.
Yeah, Florida Deed Flip's easy.
They're all easy. Once you get there is a learning curve, guys. Okay, what's going to happen is you're going to get past this curve, and all of a sudden it's going to be, oh my gosh, this is way easier than I thought it was. Okay, we're not offering Florida Deed Flip, I don't believe.
No, we're not. So
that's going to be a while before we offer it. We've got a lot of great guys.
We offered it about a month ago, and we had some interest, so we kind of want to see how that plays out for the new guys who buy it.
Yeah, there's usually kind of a delay.
Yeah, so we
People
don't
buy and then they start kicking in.
We don't want to. So we kind of see how what our files coming in. We check that out, and then we decide what we're going to do with that. So.
Deborah, awesome. Great question. And then you said, oops, I think you just answered. Can we submit potential claims while still under installment plan and have them dealt with? Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of this, guys.
Yeah.
You can get started right away for $200. You can use our support. You can send it in. Here's the thing with the installment. First of all, we're not going to send you the last piece, the DIY, where you can do it completely on your own until the final payment. Okay? I mean, we're not going to do that. We're not going to set up people to compete with us for $200. The other thing is you get full access to everything, and if you stop paying, during that period, which I think you're going to see the value in, you're not. But if for some reason something came up and you didn't make the final payment, obviously we're done at that point. I mean, we're not going to give you support and all that. If you turned in files, what we're going to do is, if I get one of them under contract, I'll give you your purchase price back. but I'm not paying you like a researcher when you're not a researcher.
Right.
Hey guys, just wondering if a person is working the hybrid and has the file that has both a bankruptcy and an IRS tax lien, how would you handle this? Go to the bankruptcy court first.
Yeah.
As both are federal, which one would you priority? Would you split the funds between? No, you don't split it.
First of all, I'm telling you right now, you work with the IRS.
That's hard.
I wouldn't.
That's our last ditch effort.
And you know what? It takes years before they get back to you.
We got a reply 18 months after I turned it.
Years. So let's say you want to send a file for 2 years and then have them get back to you and then tell you that, hey, you know what? We're not going to work it. It's not worth it. I
would work the trustees first. And then I would work actually the debtor's attorney.
Yeah, I would
teach you how to do that. I wouldn't. IRS is it's last ditch, guys. Now, Vicki, one of the things, remember, hybrid, we have a claim system with that, so make sure you claim the list in that county and state using the way the system's set up.
Are you going to give us the counties with online records, Doug?
There's 3,200
nah,
counties.
Doug, we don't do that.
We teach you how to identify.
Yeah.
We have a video that's Can I Work This? And it's literally how to go and see what you can work.
How is Arizona to work in, Jacob? Arizona is pretty easy, meaning that you got a lot of competition.
Yeah, you got access.
Because there's only about 2 or 3 counties that are.
That's it.
Yeah, and Maricopa is on. I mean, think if you Google excess proceeds, I think Maricopa
comes up.
Yeah, so I mean, people are working it. There's a lot of opportunity there. So there's a number of different researchers in there. No one's exclusively working it. Probably about 4 or 5 in there now.
Yeah.
But it's pretty easy to find info on. You just gotta if you like competition, that will work.
You gotta stay on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Will the installment plan be applied to other programs, e.g. bankruptcy?
Here's the problem with that, Deborah. Bankruptcy, we usually sell off, like for instance, right now, if you got in, you'd have a resources page linked from the ebook, right? Mm-hmm. On that resources page is a link where you can go get bankruptcy for $197.
Yeah, it's now.
So
we were really looking at books that we price in the $497 and up range is what we're doing.
Yeah, and bundles.
In bundles. And I think that bundle that's on there is a great deal.
If you can afford it, guys.
If you can afford it, yeah.
You know, I mean, we know not everybody's got that kind of money.
After you do the $497 initial payment, you're getting 3 books that we charge $500 for $250 a piece, basically half off.
That's a great deal.
Yeah.
But part of it is we want to see, look, you're making an effort, you got skin in the game. We know there's a much better chance that you're gonna be successful. So we want that to happen.
Yeah.
Right? So, we're helping you out. Can I participate in the Florida remote and the national surplus? Absolutely, Derek. Guys, get rolling. Most of the guys, by the way, let me just say something. Most of the guys that are consistent, strong researchers for us, I mean, I got a couple of them, better than I do, that have national, and that's plenty to work. But most of them end up doing that, plus they do like a Florida or something else. So it's always good to have more than one system. If nothing else, it's a change of scenery. Change of scenery. I'm confused with all the programs. I did the John Lane program. Is it more than that, Chris? Chris, we teach you how to research debt. From what I understand, not to cast aspersions on John Lane, but from what I understand, they're not teaching you guys how to research debt. Also, they're not partnering with you, or else they're charging you a stupid amount of money to partner with them. You can actually research the debt, fill out our title worksheet with that, get us a couple documents online, send it in. We will find the people, put the deal together, hire the mobile notary, hire the attorney. We always use an attorney. We always do a buyout. We do a structured buyout. Somebody's owed money, we're going to give them a portion of it up front. We will, okay? And then more of it when we're successful getting it out. So, of course, that's why we're having high conversions. I get a lot of people that started with the John Lanes and the Rick Dawsons of the world, and they go, oh, my gosh, well, no wonder I haven't been able to put anything together. You've been crushing us because you're buying these people out. So, it's much different. As far as all the different programs, Chris, if you're looking at an overage program, national surplus funds, you're done. It's really that easy. I was 10 minutes late. You said only the 5 people will be in.
We were talking about Florida remote.
Yeah, Florida remote, we're only going to sell like 5 of those. You got a handout attached to this, Lakeisha. Grab that. and there'll be a link and a password to use to be able to get that program if you want to be one of those persons. It's $4.97. We weren't planning on offering this again until January.
Yeah.
With the national, how different is it to get a list from other states, Betty? You get lists from counties.
Yes.
And we give you a letter. You can use an email form or a letter form, or you can even call. Guys, a lot of the counties, it's online.
The tax will be, yeah. But
Tax will be.
You know, if you could do some work and actually get one where you actually have to work for, I can promise you, you won't have any competition.
You know, a lot of people, it's a great point, because we just had that brought up, where the guy brought up, he got all these lists from, and we like taxsaleresults.com. Great company. Yeah. But he had gotten an older it's tax sale results.
It's
tax sale results. Lane, I think, is tax sale list. But tax sale results, we like those guys, okay? Great lists, but some of them are older lists.
Yeah.
Okay? And they're harder to get. If you make an effort and contact and get a list, you're going to get lists that nobody else gets.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right? I mean, it's really that simple. The harder you work, the better off you are. Yeah. It's not hard. Is Maryland easy to work for the national program, Sterling?
We have some files from Maryland. I don't really know ins and outs of a lot of different states, but we have some files in from Maryland, so it can't be that hard.
It really can't. Let me give you two words of advice I'd give you for Maryland. One is, just so you know, Baltimore City and Baltimore County are two different lists.
Yeah, they're city lists. You're right about that.
It's weird up there.
Yeah, they have city tax sale lists, and yeah.
And the list is monstrous, so it's going to cost you a few bucks to get it. They also have Prince George's County would be one that I would target up there, because in 08, whenever the blow up was, that is when you saw Prince George's really fall apart. So there's going to be an insane number of overages up there. Prince George's County, Maryland. Sterling.
What is Florida Remote?
Doug, it's the Florida version of the national. It's surplus funds from tax and mortgage overages, but it's Florida specific.
Yeah, Florida specific. A lot of opportunity. The book is a picture book.
Oh my God!
We literally walk you through with pictures on how to work it.
Pictures.
Yeah, screenshots, pictures. You know, that's it. It's basically it's surplus funds tailored to Florida.
Tax and mortgage.
Tax and mortgage. If you go to the products page, there'll be info on that and some videos that we put together.
And let me give you guys some insight. You know, I love that, because the people that are coming on tonight look like they're really intelligent. They've done some research on this before, so this is good. Guys, we enjoy talking to people that really want to learn this stuff. Let me give you 2 bits of advice on Florida. The reason people use Florida with us, and this is another reason why we made it a state-specific course, and that is, normally the way we do this is we do buyouts. We buy people out of their claim, and then we actually get it out in their name. The attorney we hire the attorney goes and gets the money. We'll do all this for you. You don't have to do any of this if you want to be a researcher, right? So our attorney will get it, and in most states, they'll get the check, put it in a trust account, split it out based on our buyout agreement, and we're done. Florida trust account laws will not allow attorneys to do that. So what will happen is, the attorney will actually forward the check to me, and I have to be able to cash it. Very few people cash third-party checks. I'd love to get some input from you guys. How many of you guys have worked this business, and what you ran into is you couldn't cash the check?
Right.
Because I see that all the time. Florida, we got around that. We can cash the check. Also, there are unique statutes, unique rules, laws in Florida that make it really, really attractive to us as far as going after it and some of the neat things that are going on down there. And that's all. Ooh. Oh, good. One down, guys. One of the Floridas is gone. People know that it's worth it. No, I didn't receive a handout. Please send it to me. Oh, okay. We will at the end of this, and guys, we'll make sure for the folks that can't download this, we'll make sure we do it right after this to where you can get on. I wish I could just spout out the page name, but it's
long.
Oh my
and
gosh.
It's password protected. I don't want to link it to the site. This was just for people that are coming.
Yeah. I mean, you guys would be literally. Can you repeat that? You know,
yeah, and that's long. I'm sorry.
What kind of list are we getting? You're not getting a list. Oh, what kind of list do you get? Tax overages or mortgage overages? We tell you how to get it. We don't get it for you. Is that where were you concerned that's what you meant?
I think we're talking, just overage lists.
Yeah, overage list,
The
tax
funds.
overage list, mortgage overage list.
Right.
Sorry, Kathy, I didn't mean to jump on
Does the
you.
limit of 5 people for Florida remote apply if you want to do the flagship? No.
No. Flagship
No.
bundle, that's the beauty with the bundles.
Yeah. The bundles we never limit.
Good question, Derek.
But we do keep an eye on it. So let's say if a lot of people got the bundle, that would affect us down the road.
Yeah, we'd probably push off when we offered it
So
next.
we look at that. So it does affect it, but right now it doesn't.
Because we do audits.
Right. So
We
if we
check.
have a big run on the bundles tonight, and then people get the Florida remote, if we do offer the bundle again, we might take Florida remote out and substitute it with Florida D-flip.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
We're careful, guys.
yeah.
We're very careful. Florida's got plenty of room in it still. Florida remote pays 8 to 12%. National pays on 8. What does Florida remote pay more than national?
Florida remote pays. Don't forget a Florida remote. You're doing the lien search, the lien and judgment search.
Yeah, because you can get it online.
Right. So
That's why it's 12.
it's 12. Now we do have some. If you send it in before, there's a whole rule in Florida, and anyway, there's a 60-day rule.
Which is
Then
technicality.
you don't want to do title. It's 8%. It's all.
Yeah, guys, you don't even have to do title.
At tax sales are 10%.
Tax or 10.
Yeah, it's 8, 10, or 12 depending. It's really up to you on
Depending
that.
on your level of research.
Yeah, it could be 10 or 12. Tax is 10. Mortgage is 12. And then we have an 8 option if you wanted to skip a step.
That's right. If you wanted to, that's the absolute best way to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, to cut down on you wanted to do it fast and not have to do as much work.
Right.
And we got a lot of those.
I get it. We're just trying to beat them in, and I understand it.
Or why not what? Okay. Are there video trainings or just books? God, you guys, it's just nothing but good questions tonight. That's fantastic. There's a resources link from each book that goes to a resources page that has videos and additional information on it. It's also a way we keep up.
Correct.
Okay, so if we change something, or we change the title worksheet for that particular program, or we go, hey, heads up, guys, we just learned this. Like, for instance, with national, some stuff is changing in the statutes.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a list of states that we have to actually change. Guys, by the way, you got to wait a year for us to be able to get it out on this state or whatever. So, yeah, there's a resources page you can get to. Also, guys, there's a link from that resource. You're going to love this. Link from that resources page that goes to a list of everything we're working in every state. So you won't duplicate somebody else's efforts. You won't waste any time.
Mm-hmm.
That's powerful. We will update that once a day, usually Monday through Friday at night.
Right.
Usually. Sterling, you're asking great questions. With the hybrid program, is it easy to work with the bankruptcy trustees? Yes and no. The older guys, Sterling, are going to kind of blow you off. The book tells you how to approach not just the trustees, but also the judge. So one of the two is going to have a little bit of a fire under them. But you're not, it's not going to be it's going to be a better conversion rate than if you were going after individual claimants for overages. But it's still going to be, you're still going to run into people that just won't work with you. That's why we also teach you how to work with the claimants, or rather the debtor's attorney. You can also work with them. There's a couple of different ways to skin that cat. I hope I answered your question. They're easy to work with. They're very open. It's just, not everyone's going to say yes. All right, Marcus, I have a tough time obtaining the Baltimore City mortgage overage lists.
The Baltimore City, I don't think they have a mortgage overage.
No, I think it's just tax.
The city lists are usually just tax.
Yeah.
You'd have to go county level always to get mortgage.
You know what? I wouldn't have agreed with you, but I think you're right.
I know I'm right.
I think you're right. With the mortgages, they have to run it through the county.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why you're hitting a wall. They're going, what are you talking about?
No, I mean, Maryland, you got to understand, guys, we get a lot more. We do the national and even traditional, we have that. When we had that, we get a lot more tax sales because the lists are easier to get.
Yeah.
Mortgage lists are not going to be posted online.
No.
They're not.
No, and a lot of times they're not even going to know what you're asking for.
Right. You're going to have to call the county, do some digging. It's going to require a little more work on you.
Yeah, we teach you how to do
But the
that.
payoff is better because not many people work for mortgage overages.
Yeah, there's no competition.
Yeah, even other programs that are out there, focused on tax sales.
Yeah.
So
that's all they're focused on.
right.
Have you heard about Diamond's course, Jeanette? That's
It's good day.
I'm sorry. I'm in the Tennessee. Is it required to research in the county office, or does it depend on county by county? Dave, everything you need is going to be online in Tennessee. We're very familiar with Tennessee. One of the things I will tell you, though, is with Tennessee, we have to wait a year in order to make the claim on a tax foreclosure.
In Tennessee, to get the mortgage list, I think you might have to live in the state.
You have to have
a weird rule.
They're going to ask for your driver's license
in
Tennessee.
So if you have Tennessee,
for your request.
right? Yeah, you're right. Bob Diamond.
Yeah, Chris, of course I have. There's 3 of us out there that are doing anything of any value, really, and that's Rick Dawson, who's connected with Bob Diamond, the attorney. That course, which is hooked on overages, it's like deed grab or whatever. There's ours, and I think John Lane came out with one where I kind of get a kick because he keeps bragging about getting $175,000 in this last thing I saw in a year.
Yeah. We've done that deal.
Yeah. Come on. Diamond, nothing wrong with the guy. He's an attorney. I'm certainly not going to talk smack about an attorney. I'm not stupid. But I will tell you.
Truthfully, I've never read any of it.
We never get at their stuff.
I've never read, and people don't believe me, but
no,
I've never read it. I've never read it.
We're tempted to see if there's something we don't know.
I've never read it.
We don't want to, because we're afraid we're going to, look, those guys started, Rick Dawson started with tax overages. I started back in the day with mortgage overages. So we both came from different directions. We're both working both type of deals now. His course is 3 times mine. You got to pay more money to get associated with them because I think they're making the majority of their money off the initial hit. It's different. And when I first started getting into this and getting online with folks, I had a huge ebook, right? And it had all this information. Now we've slimmed it down, put stuff on the resources page, made it a support issue because we're working with you. Our back end is where we make our money.
Yeah, and we have these training sessions sometimes. And
yeah, we're going to have another.
For flippro, if you get in with flippro, we'd offer a
boot camp.
About 30 days after the initial launch. It was a couple weeks ago, a week or so ago.
So we're a couple
weeks ago.
2-3 weeks out.
So you'll see an email from us in about 2-3 weeks that we're going to be setting it up.
Yeah, if you bought.
If you bought, right. You have to be. You can't, and you're a good point. You can't come join that.
Well,
we're going to go over a lot of stuff detailed in the book, and it's, first of all, it's of no value for you to be.
It's not going to make any sense.
And 2, it's just 2 people bought that book.
Yeah. It's exactly like no one has a clue at any of the courthouses in Maryland. Thank you. Just have to go harder. And Marcus, it's not go harder. It's just see, I'm so glad you're here tonight, right?
Yeah.
Because we were able to answer your question like that. Well, that's because we're all over the nation and we can do that. That's the value of working with us. It's exactly right. Okay. Did the audio go out? Uh-oh. I hope not, because I was talking like 100 miles an hour.
I think so.
Let's see what we've got. No, it looks fine on our end.
Yeah.
Wow.
There we go. Is it okay to use a virtual?
Why don't you handle this one this time, Jeff?
No, you handle it.
Oh, man.
I love these.
I get salty
Virtual
on this.
assistants. I don't see the
Stop with the virtual
Oh,
assistants.
I don't get it.
Please, dear God. That's a Rick Dawson, Bob Diamond thing. They're pushing that. Guys, you know what? Do whatever you want.
Why don't you get started in this and make some money
Why don't you make some money first
and then talk about that?
before being big time?
I'm serious,
Okay.
man. This is not a 10-hour day job.
It's not. And it's
really not.
The people that make it are the people that first do it themselves so they can train other people to do
When we
it.
started this,
my God.
I used to go into the county. I used to actually have to go into the counties, pull the files in the basement of these courthouses. And now he's still talking about 3 or 4 hours a day, a few days a week,
Clearing out a courthouse.
to get a couple hundred files.
Yeah. Clearing
Now,
it out.
That's if you do online. Good Lord. I mean,
Right.
you don't need.
Guys, that's where we don't have the sympathy level. Guys, we used to do what we called scratch and sniff.
Yeah.
Do you understand what? We would go in and open every flipping
5
file.
years. So 2013, we would go through every file, and it could be 2,000 of them.
Yeah.
Pull them open, pull them open, pull them open.
Bang, bang, bang,
And
bang, bang.
because in North Carolina they had a disbursement sheet, and it would say on there if there's an overage. So we open it, look at that sheet, put it back. I mean, we would
I went through Stanley County in 4 hours.
5 per 1,000 files or some number, because not every sale is going to have an overage, guys.
But we crank. I mean,
yeah, you wouldn't get good at it, but
boom.
That was before we knew about lists.
Yeah.
This is back in 2009 or something. Around there.
Yeah. Well, no, some of the clerks wouldn't give us lists.
Yeah.
Even though they were
That's true.
had to, they wouldn't. So I hope that answers your question about the virtual assistant. You know, do what you want to do, but if you're going to send a file into us, you're responsible for that file.
That's what.
So if you want to have somebody from the Philippines figure this out and send it in,
that's a good point. Because if you send a file in and it's all messed up,
you can't say, "Well, sorry."
Right, and I email you, say, "Hey, we've got these errors with the file," and you're like, "Well, I didn't really do it," and I'm like, "Listen, man, you bought the book. Your name's on it. You have to review the file. You can't just let." And that goes into working with your spouse.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to go over that file yourself too.
Right.
2 set eyes are always good. You know, because you're responsible. You know, because we understand errors the first. That's why when usually
you're going to make mistakes,
right? And we understand that. But if it's every file, 10, 20 files of errors, I mean, at some point, it's not worth it for us to have to print it out.
Do a TLO.
Do a TLO. This, that,
mailing, call.
If we start losing money, we're out. We're done.
Yeah. Now, on the other side of that, guys, if you're making different mistakes, you're going to run into different things. And we're okay with that.
Yeah.
If we go, hey, everything was good, but you have to correct this one item. And then a week later, you do the same thing. Hey, look, man, you made the same mistake. A week later, you do the same thing. Okay, making the same mistake over and over again, that's a decision.
Yeah.
So,
and the stuff isn't hard. It's
not hard.
The files, the paperwork is not hard. People run into just trying to send something in knowing they don't have it all right is the problem I see.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. People go, I was afraid to send it in.
Or they'll send it in knowing they don't have all the documents.
Yeah, You can always get up with support.
Yeah.
Say, hey, here's what I got. I need to get more stuff. I'm having trouble.
Yeah. You want to go over anything else?
I think we're okay. Mostly, guys, the National Surplus Funds Program, which is just amazing. You can do this from home. If you had talked to us 5 years ago, we would have said you're out of your mind. You know, let me give you guys a heads up on national, because it's something we haven't covered recently. But like right now, I'm cutting a check to a guy that was working a state. Anyway, we've got deals going right now in Georgia, Colorado, North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida. I believe we've got something about to go in Arizona, and we got a monstrous one in Illinois, $100 and some change, $100 some $1,000 in Illinois. So that's working extremely well. I saw one the other day that was either Kentucky or West Virginia, a state I had never seen before turned in.
So the Oklahoma files turned in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a limit to number of national programs being sold, Betty?
No, there's 3,200 counties.
Yeah, the only reason why we limit Florida is because it's a one-state deal.
Yeah.
And those type of programs we always limit it.
Yeah, and we're not worried about competition from, and again, I'm not casting aspersions on an attorney-read program out there that's for sale, but I will tell you that we don't worry about competition, because over 30% of the buyers that come to us started out with somebody like one of those other programs. They didn't realize they had to do the research and how to do it, so they come to us. So I'm not worried about competition from other programs at all. I'm just not.
In your professional experience, if you put in 4 to 6 hours a day researching for national surplus, what is an average earning?
I'm gonna answer this a little differently, Jacob. It's going to take you. At first, it'll take you longer to do a file, but it'll take you about a half hour per file to do a file, depending on the state.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a lot of files.
4 to 6 hours a day. If you were really working 4 to 6 hours a day,
wow, you'd make a lot of money.
You'd make a lot of money. I mean, and again, it depends on this. Some states are harder to work. Some are easier. The overage amounts will obviously, because it's a commission-based, it's not the same. So if everything's saying is 10,000 opposed to everything that's 80,000, this is what it is. And we've had researchers do less closings and make 4 times as much as somebody else.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Who had a lot of closing, but they're all small.
We had one girl turn in.
And it's commission based. It's like real estate. It's like if you're a realtor.
So you got to keep that full.
And it does. And I don't want you to say, hey, don't go after the low dollar amounts. You got to go after
everything. That's our bread and butter. Yeah.
But some people are just lucky and they hit on the higher dollar stuff, and some people hit.
We had a girl turn in 3 files. One of them was $127,000.
She turned in 10 files.
10 files. Sorry, I'm sorry.
And one of them was $127,000, and we hit on it.
Her pay was almost $10,000.
She made $10,000 and only sent in 10 files and disappeared.
5 hours of work.
Yeah.
So Jacob, it's all over.
It's all over.
I mean, it really is.
Yeah.
I mean, in the video, I go over conversion rates and that type of thing. There's a video associated with National. I'd recommend you take a look at that. But it's just, guys, a lot of it is, it's luck of the draw. Barb. When working counties in other states that do not have the 60-day statute like Florida, how does it differ? The debt does not go away.
No, yeah, Florida, that's the beauty of Florida, too.
That's
the beauty of it.
Yeah, that's why
we got a legal loophole.
Yeah, guys, in mortgage, which includes HOA, mortgage overages,
civil foreclosure.
Yeah, when you're working with those, obviously the reason we're having you check debt is because if there's debt, the debt has a priority claim to the
This
money.
is Florida only we're talking about.
Well, no, anywhere.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
If we're having you check debt because the debt has a priority claim to the money.
Right, correct.
However, Florida only, in 60 days, if they haven't made a claim, we can claim for the owner.
Lien holders have 60 days to make a claim. If they do not make the claim within 60 days, the money automatically goes to the last deed holder at time of Liz Pendens.
At the time that correct.
Yeah.
The judgment was made. Now, having said that, if Bank of America goes in, they're still going to get it if they're uncontested.
If they're uncontested.
So
if we go in,
we'll nail them.
We will nail them.
I mean, we will. We've got the best attorney in Florida, period. He's our best attorney in the nation.
He probably is.
Yeah. Honest to God, he's that good. And no, I'm not sharing his name.
T.S.
In the deed flip program, you convert 3 to 5% of files. Can you explain why you only convert 3 to 5% of files when we turn in? It seems like a small conversion amount. Okay, it's pre-tax sale. Okay, with the deed flip.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are still there, but most of the properties, if the people are still in the property, they find only taxes are foreclosing on the property, guys. It's only a couple grand. Yeah. So a lot of times they redeem it at the 11th hour. That's why.
There's a lot of variables, guys. I mean, we're honest and upfront.
Yeah, we're not going to lie to you.
It's a numbers game. Anybody who's an investor knows this stuff.
Tax sale,
you need to do, it's volume work. So, I mean, if you're just working 5 files a year or whatever, I get people, I mean, you're not going to make any money. You got to really work it. People could redeem the property, right? And that happens a lot. I mean, if you go look after a sale, how many people redeemed at the 11th hour?
Oh, it's over.
It's 50, 60%.
I was going to say 70.
Maybe 70%.
Honest to
so
God.
Right there off the bat, we could never get it because they redeemed the property.
Redeem means they paid off the taxes to stop the sale.
And some do it right up to the day of sale.
They will walk in with a certified check.
It happens a lot.
Honest to goodness.
Yeah. So right there.
And guys, even with our program, we don't have you turn it into us unless it's a certain amount of days out.
Yep.
Because if it's in front of that, if it's too many days out, the conversion rate's even lower.
Yeah.
The upside is that when we put the deal together, put it together, sell it, especially now in Florida with that flip, but there's a couple of other states that are hot. My God, give us some North Carolina stuff.
Also, too, a lot of times, what you don't see, too, in that is we get in contact with a lot of people.
Yeah, guys, just because they make a deal doesn't mean
who are willing to sell it to us, but the problem is the numbers don't work for us.
They don't, or, and here's a lot, guys, they wait till the 11th hour.
Or that, but I think a lot of it too, man, they either they want to make a deal and we find out the home is basically trashed. It's not worth anything.
And I'll take a bombed out house.
Right, we will too, but they're not going to take a bombed out house and then they want to sell it to us for market value.
Oh, yeah, we get that a lot.
I mean, it is what it is.
You know, I want 20 grand, I want 30 grand, I want 50 grand.
We just can't do it because we have to.
I want a Lamborghini.
The goal is to turn a profit. The only way that you could get paid is if we turn a profit.
Right.
So
So we're not going to take crap.
If we make deals and just break even, then you don't get paid, we don't get paid. It's not worth it.
Yeah. Now, having said that, guys, we offer great deals to these guys. I mean, we really do.
Yeah.
It's a great buyout. It really works well. We also get stuff that's heartbreaker where it's just 11,000. Understand, these are people. Listen carefully. These are people that are about to lose their house because they haven't paid taxes in 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years.
It's a number of years. Florida's about 2, 3 years. But yeah, they know about it.
We had one the other day though. The guy's swearing up and down. Oh my God, it was surplus. Oh, I didn't know it. Come on.
Yeah, it was.
It was
South Carolina. They had. Remember that they had a year and a half to redeem the property.
Yeah, they had a year and a half.
In 2014. The tax deed didn't get recorded until April of this year.
Yeah.
They had all that time.
And the guy pretended like he didn't know.
And I checked. Well, maybe he's not on the tax roll, and the account. No, he got notified.
His notification address matched his address.
I think people put their head in the sand and they think that this can't happen.
This is going to sound nuts. A lot of people think if they bought a property cash, they're done.
Yeah.
They don't owe any taxes to the county. We get that a lot. People argue with us and go,
I
bought a cash.
A lot of this actual property we're talking about, he got it through an inheritance. And he never paid. He got it through inheritance in 2011.
Yeah.
Never paid taxes in 3 years. County forecloses on him. Doesn't know what's going on. He got a house for free and never paid anything.
Yeah.
And now he lost it. Can I sign in and purchase national at 12:01 a.m.?
Yeah, it'll all be up.
You want to start that earlier?
You want to start it? Can you do it? Can you fire it up?
I'm going to fire it up.
Okay. Jeff's going to get it fired up, guys, so you can just jump on it.
I think it's useful if they could see it and ask questions.
Yeah, you know what? That's a great idea. We're going to fire it up so you guys can look at it. It's 9:47 now. We're going to fire it up early. It's not going to affect the number of sales because National's on there. This installment program, guys, is going to be running for a while because we're going to have to gauge and see how it works. What will the minimum claim amount be for National? Thanks, Jeff. Awesome question. 15 grand for National, Jeff. Most of our stuff, it's 10. We did 15 on National because there's just so much more opportunity out there because you can go, it's National, right? So a lot more you can go after. So we're doing that. I want to go into some real quick because I know the questions kind of slow down. I know some of you guys are going to be going back and forth to our products page to check out or the installment page to check that out. And that's going to, normally it would have popped on at 12:01, but you'll be able to see it now. We've had a couple of recent things happen that were very interesting. I had a lady call me, and this is what will happen, for instance, in a deed flip, because you guys are asking great questions about the deed flips. A lot of times they will ask us, can we stay in the property? Now, it has become such a big deal that what I will do normally is I will let them stay an extra month free. They can stay. Now, if I do that, I'm going to do a cash for keys, meaning I'm going to give them some of the buyout I was going to give them for the property now. The vast majority of it they won't get till they're out and they're cleared out. Otherwise, I'm going to have to pay somebody to evict them, and I don't want to be in that situation, and I don't want to go there, right? And that's why banks do cash for keys. Same reason I'm doing it. I want it in good shape, and I want you out. So when they're out, they call it. We say, look, here's the deadline. You let us know you're ready to go. We'll send a mobile out or one of our representatives in that area, and we'll have them meet somebody, change the locks out in front of the guy, check the condition, and if it looks good, I will wire or send them the final check. So we'll handle that, but I get a lot of people ask, can I rent it? Guys, you have to be upfront and honest with people, okay? They're so used to, anyway, you have to be upfront. I tell them, look, you haven't paid $5,000 a year in taxes for the last 3 years. The going rental rate on this property would be $800 a month. There is no way you can afford to pay me rent. You haven't paid $5 grand a year, or what is that, $420 a month? $420 a month. There's no way I can assume you're going to be able to pay $800. And guys, that's how you handle it, And some of you guys are younger. You'll find as you get older, people respect it, even if it's not the answer they want. All right, thank you. What is the turnaround time on files once turned in? What is the commission split? Doug, okay, you must have missed a lot of stuff. All right, real quick, though, before I tell you that, you can go to surplusfundsriches.com, surplusfundsriches.com. Click on products. There's a description on every single program we've got, even the ones we're not offering right now. And there's a video link, too, that has this information. For the commission split, for the deed flip, well, we're going to do a national thing with that. For the National Surplus Funds Program, which handles mortgage and tax overages, it is 8% of gross. So if it's a $25,000 deal, you're going to get paid $2,000. The people that have done this before understand how strong that is because they've tried to do this as finders in states where they're limited to 10%. And the reason they come to us is they realize that after expenses of finding people, mailing them, calling them, and running skip tracing on them, they realize they're actually coming out ahead with us because they would have spent 5 to 6% doing those things.
All right, it's up.
What is the conversion on national? Same, Jacob. I think we're somewhere. It depends on the state. 3 to 5%.
The installment page is up.
Awesome.
You can go for it now.
That's installment. Yeah.
Installment's up. In your handout, the Florida, the webinar
specials, the bundle and the Florida remote.
Right.
That's up. That's
been up. Yeah, that never. Let's see where we're at.
But also the installment, if you go to surplusfundsriches.com, if you can't afford to buy the program up front, if you click on the little link there, it's a hyperlink near the top that says installment, right? If you click, well, it says more than that, but if you click on that, you go to the installment page, that's up now too. Mm-hmm. We weren't expecting that to be out.
Well, somebody has some questions about it, at least we can answer it now.
Yeah, now you can look at it and kind of, Good question, Jacob, by the way. And Doug. Turnaround time. Commission splits is the only thing I addressed with that. I'm sorry, Doug. It depends on the state. Usually it's 3. We're saying 3 to 4 now to be careful because some of the counties are requiring a little more than we're used to.
Yeah.
A little more steps as far as turnaround time. Having said that, you really got to review the list because, for instance, in Tennessee, we got to wait a year from the foreclosure date. So you want to work older files so that when you're turning them in, that we've already hit that point.
Yeah.
Right.
In some states like California, Nevada, you have to wait again 1 year from the sale to before they even look at your claim.
Right. You make your claim within that year, right, but they won't review it.
Yeah.
Till the year's up.
Is there one site where we can check laws in each state for overages?
Yeah, that's in our book. That's in our ebook and our resources page. And we've got most states, not all of them.
But honestly, Google's a great tool with this too, because the laws change, guys, and
all the time.
I tell people, if you just Google Georgia or North Carolina excess proceeds laws or something, you'll usually come up where you could find it by doing a little bit of work.
Yeah, excess proceeds, surplus funds.
And some states have wacky laws, and it's more pertaining to tax sales. Some states it's limited, so you can have 3 years, 5 years, 2 years, 1 year, where you can make a claim.
Yeah.
So something like South Carolina, like 5 years on tax sale. Now mortgage overages, there usually aren't any restrictions.
That's correct, and you can usually claim them in perpetuity.
Yep.
Forever, guys. But let me make a point that I think we almost missed with this too. Betty, the way we do this, we are not using assignments. We do not have them assign it to us. We hire an attorney. We get the money out in the claimant's name, and then we have our attorney break that check out based on our buyout agreement. What does this do? It makes it a structured buyout. What does that mean? Finder laws don't apply to us. Right? That's a big deal. Mm-hmm. And that means we can cash any check. And the checks are made out to the claimants. There's no questions. Nobody gives us a hard time. It's done. So, Betty, that was a great question because I need people to understand we are not teaching you to be a finder. We're teaching you to make 4 times.
We have a finder book if you want to be a finder.
Yeah, ultimate finder.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be a finder. I'd want to do it this way.
People have done well with that book.
Oh, with the state. Yeah, with the state unclaimed funds. Yeah. We've got that's actually, I think, one of the most underrated.
Yeah, people have done really well with that.
Books. But that's to be a finder on the state, not necessarily surplus.
Nashville area. Is it best to research the area I live, or does it matter? For national, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't. It doesn't matter all day.
But if you live there and you can get a list, you can certainly work it.
Dave, guys, if a guy isn't in Tennessee or doesn't have a representative or family member there, he can't get the list you can get because he doesn't have a driver's license with Tennessee for the mortgage overage list. Mm-hmm. So work that or work other areas.
Your website says there are 2 ways to use the program. 1, build your own business. 2, be a researcher. Can I start as a researcher, then move to having my own business as I gain experience and confidence?
Yeah, Lowell, that's what everybody does. They start with us, get some money in their pocket, and move on. You do not get on the national, if you're using the installment plan, you don't get that final piece where you can go on your own until you make your final payment.
Right.
I don't see the bundle discussed here tonight. Also, the installment page is still counting down to midnight.
Refresh it.
Yeah, refresh the page, guys.
Yeah, refresh the page, guys. It's all up. I checked it. We're good.
That happens a lot.
Yeah.
Your server is caching the page.
Yeah, I took down the clock should not be showing now because I have it on. And I took down anything that says sales starts at blah, blah, blah. So it should be, basically I had a second site and I switched it. We'll get to that.
It's very technical.
Very technical. Sorry. Now, my concern is they're not seeing the handout.
Did anybody get the handout, please?
Yeah, because we're kind of limited to sales. I don't want them to be gone and no one had a chance.
Well, I'll make sure they get a chance.
We have 2 down. We'll only maybe have 3 or 4 left. Okay, got it. Good. Okay.
Good. Jacob got it.
All right.
And Derek, since you got us a little worried there for a second, but I know
Yeah, is everybody?
Let us know you
Let
refreshed
us
it.
know if somebody could go on the installment and tell me that they're seeing it. That'd be great.
You're seeing it on yours. Yes, I have it, Vicki. Did not get a handout. Okay, Jackie, should be on here. There should be a way for you to grab that handout. If
If
not,
they switch their mobile devices, I think that's what the issue is.
you think the mobiles are limiting what they can grab? Guys, after the web, I'll make sure that we have some left for you guys. Yeah, we're up and running, guys, on that page, Derek. I'll make sure that I send this out immediately after this, and we'll make sure you guys have time to
Should I
find it.
link the handout on top of the installment and just tell them what the password is here? Or just,
That's not a bad idea.
all right.
You know what? Guys, you're going to have to bear with us.
No. I'm doing.
You don't have it.
I have the site.
The handout?
Yeah.
Oh, you got the site
handout. I
thing.
have the site there. Slow down.
Never mind. Jeff's got it all under control. You're going to be able to go to the installment page, right, Jeff?
Yeah. I'm going to put it right on top, and I'm going to take it down once the email is out. It'll probably be gone anyways.
Okay. Guys, we're going to throw it on the installment page. You can get there by going go to surplusfundsriches.com. Click on the products tab. Oh, and we are going to, right, Jeff, we're taking this down?
The webinar specials?
I mean, this, what we're about to put up, we're going to not leave there forever, obviously.
No.
We're going to take it down after we hit our final sales. What we're going to do, guys, go to surplusfundsriches.com. Click on products. Okay? That's going to get you the main product page, and there'll be a link on there that says installment. Click on installment. That'll take you to this page. Now, it's not up yet. I will tell you when it's up, and at that point, you're going to have to refresh that page because, of course, we're reloading the page right now. Working it as a business. I'm going to answer questions as we're doing this, and we'll come back to it, okay? Working this as a business, do you recommend setting up a separate legal entity, such as an LLC, Lowell? Lowell, that's up to you. I'll tell you what. I've always told people, look, it's all different for everybody because of their tax situation and all that. I like me personally. Now, if you're going to send it in as a researcher, no need. I'll 1099 you at the end of the year. Okay, let me handle. You won't have any tax ramifications from either D-flips or from surplus funds retrieval. You'll have only on what you make because I will send you a check and I'll 1099 you, or I'll 1099 your business, whatever you want. Just so you guys do know, if you set up as just a DBA, which a lot of people do, doing business as, also called a fictitious name filing, aka filing. If you do that, when I 1099, I'm not going to 1099 that DBA. I'm going to 1099 I have to have either a social security number or a federal ID number. In a DBA, where all you're doing is getting a name, but you don't actually have an LLC or a company, obviously it's still your social, right? It just gives you the opportunity to call yourself, Aladdin's cleaning company or whatever, when in reality it's you. Easy to do. LLCs, if you want to do that, that's fine. I don't like it because I think that it takes a long time for you to turn legally doing things, but that's your call. If you're comfortable with an LLC, use an LLC. If you're comfortable with the subchapter S, use a subchapter S. Subchapter C, corporation, whatever. Me personally, I have a subchapter S. I like that because it gives me the flexibility to do things I can't do with any other entity. I like the S corp. Okay, where would it be, Darren? I am computer stupid. Where would it be, Darren? Darren, oh, okay, Darren, just go to surplusfunds.fundsriches.com. Click on products. You'll get the products page. There's an installment. Click on that. You'll get to the installment page, and it's just the easiest for me to tell you how to do it, right? Once you get to the installment page, refresh the page, and you'll see a PDF. Is it a PDF? No. You'll see a link. You'll see a link. I'm sorry, man. That's why I was wondering.
What are you talking about?
He leaves, and I'll help. I'll heck.
What's he talking about? Yeah, the installment. Once you're on the installment page, refresh it, and of course you'll have your options for the installment buys. There will be a link on top. Now it'll say webinar specials.
Click it.
Click it. It's password protected. The password, I'm telling you, anybody here, is webinar, all lowercase, 9216, which is today's date. So webinar, all one word, 9216.
Yeah, all numbers.
All numbers.
And this is all one word.
Yeah.
All right. If my daughter and I both want to work this together as a partnership, do we each have to buy the program? Great question, excuse me. No. Here's the deal. We need a single point of contact. There you go. Webinar, that's the password. All one word together. Excuse me. So the question was, do we each have to buy the program? No, I have a lot of people that are partners or family members. Here's the deal. You can submit only under one name. So somebody's got to take responsibility for this. And that same person name that the file is being submitting under, if you're going to partner up with somebody else, you can't submit stuff under, you got to submit it under one name, okay? That same name, you can only ask support questions under one name. The reason we did that, guys, is guys were trying to we're trying to build big teams and have us train their entire team. We're not doing that. We're going to talk to one person for support. We're going to take files from one individual. Right. And you're responsible for those files. Don't say, oh, I had a partner that, no.